Well, good evening, everybody. My name's Jay Horton. That is spelled J-E-H. Horton. You can look me up. I'm not some carpetbagger from New York. I might be a carpetbagger from Florida. But anyway, I'm the only J-E-H Horton on the planet that I know of. I'm also a musician. As a matter of fact, that's what I've done for most of my life. I kind of fell into this thing, as you'll find out in a minute. What I would like you to do if you use a streaming service is find my album, put it on, you don't have to listen to it. Just put it on repeat and turn the volume off. So it plays all night and I can get like $1. So I think I made $1.40 last week or something like that. But anyway, I haven't looked at it in a while. I could have gone platinum for all I know. I haven't looked at it in months. Who knows? I might be making $5 a week now. Yep, I got 1 million of them in the cellar. But so about a year ago, I played in a band with this guy named Eddie and this bass player named Russ. And Eddie's talking to me and Russ during the break, and he goes, "Hey man, I've got this buddy and we're starting a cryptocurrency based in Texas, and you can buy shares of the mine." And I went, okay. Now what I knew about cryptocurrency at that moment, which isn't a whole lot more than I know now, or a whole lot less than I know now, I had heard of Bitcoin, and I had read an article about the Chinese building a giant mine to try and mine Bitcoin and take it over, which they did, by the way. And that was all I knew, but I thought, well, the mine thing kind of makes sense to me. He said, look, if you give me $1,000, you might make some money, you might lose $1,000, I don't know. I thought about it for a week, and then I called him up and sent him $1,000, and actually, the shares are actually $9.95. He still owes me $5, but for some reason he's refusing to pay me. But I sent him the money. He sent me some stuff, like a little thing they call a cold storage wallet. I should have one out, and I don't.
Here's one.
Here we got. Russ has got one. Can I keep it? Has it got money on it?
It's about to be.
Oh, it don't have money on it yet. Never mind. I don't want it then. They sent me one of these in the mail. I stuck it in a file. I wrote Texit on it, and I stuck it way down in my briefcase because I didn't tell my wife I was buying this share. And I didn't want her to find it, but I wrote in tiny little letters, Texit, and I stuck it in there. And I just didn't do anything with it. My daughter got married the next month in Florida. That was a destination wedding. If you've ever been involved in putting one of those together, you know we had a crazy busy life. While we were at the wedding, I saw 3 or 4 of my running buddies, the guys I talked to about once a week. You know, they all came for the wedding. And I told them all, man, I put $1,000 in this thing. I don't know what it's going to do. It might make money, might lose money. And they said, well, you let me know how that goes. I said, well, I might have thrown away $1,000, but none of them said, hey, let me throw away $1,000 with you. They just asked me to tell them how it goes. Forgot about it again. In July, I hear Russ tell Eddie, I think I want to buy some more shares. I thought, wow, we must have made $100, maybe 200 if he's buying more shares. But I still ignored it. And in August, I got COVID, and I was stuck home alone and bored, and I thought, I wonder what's going on with that thing. So I call up Eddie. He tells me, get that thing out, tells me how to scan it. I look, and there's $6,800 worth of these coins in there. Now, part of the reason that is because there were very few of us that owned shares at the time, and we were all getting a lot of these coins every day. But there was a lot of money in there to me. So I immediately realized that I did not know what I had my hands on, obviously. So what I had my hands on was this. There's a guy, you can look him up. If you search Rob Gray, he goes by Bobby. But on the internet, when he spoke before Congress, they put him as Rob Gray. If you look up Rob Gray and what's the guy's name? Ron Paul. And testify. Back in 2012, he testified before Congress and Ron Paul about gold and silver currency. He was a gold and silver guy, and the way he likes to tell it is, he was he was trying to convince municipalities to go to gold and silver to use that as an alternative currency, so that because they don't depreciate the way the dollar does, because you can't just print more gold and more silver like you can print $1 million every other week if you want, or make 1 million digital ones. So he's trying to get municipalities to go gold and silver. He's collecting gold and silver. He's stockpiling it. He says he likes to tell it. He was riding his horse and buggy, his gold and silver horse and buggy, and the rocket Bitcoin just went right by him. Pew, left him in the dust. Well, he's a coin minter. That's one of the reasons we use these coins. And so he started minting coins for these cold storage wallets, which are a way to store crypto. It's actually, people go, you store money on the coin? No. The coin is a key. There's a QR etched into it. It's the only way you can open your cold storage wallet and get your money out. The reason they do that is it keeps people from hacking and stealing your crypto. Because one thing about alternate currencies or cryptos is they're not regulated, right? Government cannot control them, can't tell us how much they're worth, can't do anything with them. But since they're not regulated, they also aren't insured. So if somebody hacks into your account and steals your crypto, it's gone, baby. There's no FDIC because there's no oversight. So you want to keep it as safe as you can keep it. You want to use good passwords if you're using a hot wallet, which is a whole other story. But the bottom line is he wanted to start a cryptocurrency. He did not want to go find a couple of big investors and build the mine with their money and have them control it. So what he wanted to do was crowdfund it. Anybody familiar with crowdfunding? He wanted to crowdfund it. And what he did was he decided he wanted to put it at a price point that average Americans could afford to buy shares, but not at a price point that was so low that the shares weren't worth anything. And he wanted to use the money to build one of the largest cryptocurrency mines in the world. And what he wanted to do was call this cryptocurrency Texit Coin. And if you drive around the Metroplex much, you've seen the Texit Coin billboards. That's part of what the money's used for, to pay for billboards. So he started creating these coins, decided he was going to build a mine. He built the first phase of it in his backyard in a little building, and he started mining them to see if he could do it. And in April, he started selling shares, and that's when Russ and I lucked into this thing. And I mean lucked in. I tell people I'm the Forrest Gump of Texit Coin. I didn't plan any of this. It all just happened. In May, they released it on DEX Trade. Now, if you don't know much about crypto, I'll tell you, there's hundreds of exchanges where people buy and sell crypto. DEX Trade is like a penny stock version. We're still a baby coin. I mean, we're a baby. We're at 2% of the mine. We're only a year old. They released them on DEX Trade. They were selling for 2.8 cents a coin at that point. When I looked at mine in August, they were selling for about 6 to 8 cents a coin. This week, they're selling for about $1.03 a coin. That's a pretty significant increase, especially if you've got a share of this mine and it's making more coins every day. So that was his vision. That's what we're building right now. We're building a community of people, building this new cryptocurrency that's totally independent of government or any kind of overseer oversight. As a matter of fact, people ask Bobby sometimes about taxes, like, well, is it unrealized gains? First things he says, I'm not a tax professional. Second thing he says is your relationship with the overlords is your relationship with the overlords. That's what he calls our government. Anyway, that's the bottom line of what we're doing. That's why it works so well. So a single share for $9.95 that I bought for my wife back in August has produced about $12,000 worth of coins so far. I'm not going to tell you what it's going to do. I'm just going to tell you what I've seen it do. She hasn't referred anybody. We haven't bought extra shares. She's just produced those coins by us sticking it in a safe and leaving it. Today, a friend of mine, can I say his name? Is all right with you? No. No. Of course you can. Friend of mine over there, Troy Dorsey, world famous Troy Dorsey. He bought a buy three, get one back in December, and he had about $11,000 worth of coins in it. We came today and I bought 3,000 of them from him so he could get his money back. So he's now playing with house money because a buy three, get one is $2,985. So he's now playing with house money just without doing anything to enhance his mind share. And that's all you really need to know to do this, okay? There's no requirement for you to refer people. There's no requirement for you to participate in the community. You can buy I've got a U.S. attorney that bought shares from me over in Dallas. He just sits there and calls me up every once in a while. I tripled my money. As a matter of fact, he called me up and bought a buy three, get one 2 weeks ago because he made a bunch of money on the first one. I got another attorney friend in Fort Worth. He's the managing partner of Shackelford Law over there. And he bought a single share. Now he's bought another 3, and I think he's going to buy another 3. Neither one of those guys is referring anybody. They're just collecting the money. So everybody cool with that? You don't have to refer anybody ever, but I'm going to talk about referring, and I'll tell you why.
So I guess you told them I invested $2,985, right?
That's what I said.
And
y'all heard that, right?
you already heard it. And
Yeah. $11,000 so far. So, all that being said, I'm going to pick up my story where I left off a minute ago. As soon as I saw I had that money in there, I called up Eddie. And I said, I want to buy some more shares. He said, well, if you do that, buy it in your wife's name and your daughter's name. Because if you refer 3 people, they'll give you they'll give you another share of the mine. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. So I did. Then I started calling those running buddies. Remember those guys? And I told them what I call, I'm going to be politically correct tonight, a Southern fairy tale. Anybody know how a fairy tale starts? Right. The Southern one starts out, y'all ain't going to believe this. And my buddy Tony, who's kind of like my little brother, he and I own a truck together because my dad, when he passed away, they lived in Florida. I wanted to keep the truck in Florida to pull the boat when I go home. They won't let you register a truck in Florida if you live in Texas. So we told the DMV he was my brother, and I made him half owner of the truck. That's how close we are. Well, he was the first person I called. I sent him a picture of my wallet. Now, Tony is a math geek. So he takes the number of coins I had and he multiplies it by $60,000 because at the time, that's what Bitcoin was going for. He said, you realize that this goes to the level of Bitcoin, you're going to have, I think he said, $3.6 billion. I said, well, Tony, I don't expect that to happen, but if it does, you can have the truck. But he thought it was so interesting. He called up my friend Eddie because I didn't know what he had questions I couldn't answer. He called. Put him on the phone with Eddie, the guy who told me about this in the first place, and he buys a share. So they gave me more mind power. Well, at the same time, I was calling my other buddies and stuff, and they were all signing up. And I get a call from Eddie the next week, and he says, "How do you want your commission?" I said, "Dude, first of all, you didn't tell me anything about referring anybody at all. You didn't tell me I was going to get more mind power. What do you mean commission?" He said, well, I don't like it. It kind of makes me think I Amway or something. But, you know, there's a commission because you referred some people. And I said, well, how do I get it? He said, well, I can send it to you in Texit Coin. I can put it in your wallet in Texit Coin. You can get it in Bitcoin because, you know, these guys are all super crypto guys. He's offering me all these cryptos. I'm like, well, how much is it? Because I thought it'd be like the bank. You know, the bank will give you $50 if a friend comes and opens an account. So I thought, whoa, it might be $150, right? So I said, well, how much is it? Thinking if it's $150, we'll make it Texit Coin, stick it in that wallet with all the others. We'll just let this bad boy roll. He goes, it's $1,000. He said, I could just Zelle it to you if you want because I'm on speed dial on his Zelle because that's how he pays me and Russ for gigs. And I said, well, yes, $1,000, Zelle it to me. So at that point, I'm playing with house money. What I didn't know was they do have a referral program. And what had happened was Eddie had referred me. And he'd also referred, not too long after me, a guy named Caesar. And then Russ experienced FOMO. Anybody know what FOMO is? Fear of missing out. He's like, Eddie and Jay are doing this, I'm buying a share. So Eddie referred him. Now, Eddie doesn't like this thing, remember? But he's referring people because he works for Bobby and he's got to refer people or Bobby will fire him. And some other people are down here, I don't know. Let's call them Fred and Sam. I don't remember their names now. So each one of these people had bought a share and each share was 1 point. This doesn't have anything to do with the mind power thing I was talking about earlier. They're 2 completely separate programs. But for each share somebody buys, you get a point. So I had referred my wife and my daughter and Tony. Each of them had a single share. When you reach 3 points on each side, they send you $1,000.
Does that mean 3 people?
It can be one person if they buy 3 shares.
Okay.
So it's 3 shares. No matter how many shares there are, no matter how many people there are, it's shares. 3 people gets you more mind power. That's a completely separate program. You can get up to 9 points on either side. So at 1,000 for every 3, who knows what 9 comes out to? $3,000. You can get up to 9 points on either side in a week. After that, you don't get any more points. This past week, I had 500 points on one side and 70 something on the other, and I got $3,000. They don't give you any more money for the rest of the points. If they did, they'd be bankrupt. And that's why I've had people go, well, that's a pyramid. Well, it's the dumbest pyramid I've ever seen, because the guy at the bottom can make just as much money as the guy at the top, and a lot of times makes more. I make more money than Eddie ever does doing this. And there's guys in my group that are making $3,000 a week, every week. Because that money that comes in when you buy a share, 30 to 50% of it's earmarked for commissions. Because this is how we want to build the mine. We want Americans to own this thing. You can buy it overseas. 10% of the shares can belong to people who live overseas. Once we hit 10%, they don't get any more. You can buy them anywhere in the U.S., but the mine itself will be all built in Texas. It's going to be decentralized across the entire state. There's 2 phases of it in McKinney now. I'm not sure where their original plan was to build the next phase in Victoria and then Gonzales. I think they're going to bring it closer in so it's easier to manage. But, and the bottom line is, when we get to 100 million megahash, each share is 100 megahash, so there's 1 million shares going to be sold. 100, is that 100 million? That's too many zeros for me. When it gets to 100 million megahash, we're done. That's the other reason this isn't like Amway. There's no residual income. There's no soap in your garage. There's no vitamins. You pay one fee, one time for each share you buy. You can buy up to 9 shares for $89.55. Right now, if you buy before the end of the month, we've got a sale on. It's called Buy 3, Get 1. If you buy 3 shares for $29.85 like Troy did, this is what he did. He bought 3 shares and he got 4. It's one of the reasons he got his money back so quick, and tripled his money so quick. That thing's gone at the end of the month. You can buy 3, get 1, buy 6, get 2, buy 9, get 3. Once it's over, once May is over, starting in June, you'll be able to buy 5, get 1, buy 9, and get 2. We're moving so fast, growing so fast, we really don't need to offer that good of a sale anymore. And actually, the buy 3, get 1 was supposed to be 1 month, but it was so successful, we kept it from December until now. That's the referral program. How many people know you have to refer people if you're going to buy a mine share? All right, good. Everybody was listening. You don't have to refer. Give me a break. You don't have to buy a single share. I mean, you don't have to refer anybody to buy mine shares ever. I would say 60 to 70% of the people in my group or that I've personally referred have never bought a share, ever. That's how it works. That's everything you really need to know. About crypto. What is crypto? Well, essentially, we're an alternative currency. What's our plan? Our plan is to be used as a utility currency in the state of Texas. That was Bitcoin's plan when they started. And instead, they got so busy selling them to each other and buying and speculating on them that they lost sight of their plan. We literally want to be where you could walk into my studio down there. I own the music studio at the end of the street with your phone and pay for your lessons with your phone and drop your Texit Coin on it. We don't have enough liquidity at this point to do that. We're still a tiny, tiny little coin in the crypto world, but it's producing a lot of money, as you can see, as you could tell from what I showed you earlier. Is it risky? Absolutely. Anything with that kind of possible return is high risk. I really believe it's high risk, although I don't understand the risk. I'm not a financial guy. I'm literally a guitar player whose buddy said, hey, you want to try this? And I went, sure. Sounds good to me. And then they start sending me money. I do understand this. You can actually buy it. Anybody know what Bitcoin's going for today? I haven't looked at it today. About $103,000. You can buy a Bitcoin mine. You can't buy a share in one that a bunch of people have together, but you can buy a Bitcoin mine. But you're competing against that mine in China, and whoever gets to the coin first, gets the calculations done first, is going to get it. If they got a $50 million mine and you got a $14,000 one in your house, who's going to get to it first? They're going to get them all. I don't know anybody that's ever actually mined a Bitcoin. That doesn't mean that doesn't happen. I just don't personally know anybody. The difference is we're not competing with anybody. If the mine makes 10 coins and 10 of us own shares, everybody owns a share, everybody gets one coin. It's that simple, every day. If there's 100 of us that own shares, and the mine makes 500, and we own a single share each, and the mine makes 500 coins a day, everybody gets 5 coins. It's that simple. If you own one of those 12s and it's making 5 a day, if you want to buy 9, get 3, and it's making 5 coins a day, you get 60 coins a day. It's that simple. Now, what it looks like when you first buy a mine share, and I've had people get confused. I've had multiple people, including one of my best friends who's now like trading, he's become a crypto freak. He trades all kind of different cryptos. He was messaging me right before we started the meeting, asking me questions and talking to me about crypto. But when he first got his cold storage wallet, when they send you this or give you this, as soon as you get your first share, you can scan that little QR on the little white sticker, and you can see how many coins went into your wallet that day. They go in about 7:30 our time every evening. A server distributes them to everybody. He called me up and said, I've only got $34 in there. I paid $9.95. I should have at least a balance of $9.95. No, it doesn't work that way. $9.95 is what you pay for your share. You start with a 0 balance. And if a single share is making 5 coins a day, which is about what it's looking like right now, at first you think, well, I'm only making $5 a day. $5. But then you get to the end of 30 days and you made 150 coins. How many people have seen, how many people were already in when it jumped from 70 to $1 a couple of weeks ago? If you got 150 coins and they jump by 30 cents, it's a significant difference. You've got 1,000, it's even more significant. And what I've seen happen, and that's why my wife's share that I showed you earlier has $12,000 worth of coin, because they were making about $5 worth of coin a day when they were 8 cents. And the price just kept going up. So the combination of more coins every day and the price continually moving up slowly put some serious returns out there. Now, I'm not going to guarantee you what it's going to do, because there is no guarantees. There's no guarantees if you bought Tesla stock. There's no guarantees if you bought IBM stock. Is IBM still a company? But this is not stock. You want to share the mine. It's going to make coins for the next 135 years. If it quits before 135 years, one of y'all can be mad at me if you want. I won't be around. I don't think anybody in the room will be around. But it's going to make them for 135 years. They're going to have at some point. And people say, well, once you get to these million shares, it's only going to make like 0.09 of a coin every day. Well, that's not too bad if the coin's worth $1,000 by then. It could easily be. There's a bunch of cryptos that are worth well over $1,000 a coin, and you only paid $9.95. By then, you've already made your money back 10 or 12 times over, and it's just still making money, week after week, day after day, over and over and over. It's that simple.
Or if you buy 9, get free, when we get that to sell out, you're still getting 1 coin a day.
Yeah, you're still getting a coin a day if you bought to buy 9 and get 3. And if you refer people, back to the referral for a minute, remember, every third person, you get another mine share, right? So if you start out with 1 share and you refer 3 people, now you got 2. But they have a program called Quick Start. Do that in 30 days, they give you double. So you go from 1 share to 3, you still only spent $9.95. You just helped 3 people you know buy shares, and now you got 3 shares. Every 30 days that you continue to get at least 3 referrals, you get another 2 shares. It adds up pretty quick. I got some friends, and then, before I go to that part, on the cash version, remember the 3 and 3 is $1,000, 6 and 6 is 2, 9 and 9 is 3,000. You don't have to take this money if you don't want it. You can, if you don't need it to live on, I would at least take my initial investment back out personally, but you can do what you want. The way you'll take it is in USDC, which is a type of cryptocurrency that's based on the dollar. It'll come into your wallet. You can pull it into your bank account, and you got your $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000. Or, if you want to, you could do what's called BOGO. Buy one, get one. You can roll this back into shares. They'll give you 2 more shares. You can roll this back into shares. They'll give you 4 more. I've got some friends who bought a single share. They've got a huge group under them. They're no longer, they haven't referred enough people themselves to continue to get the cash, so they have to take the BOGO, but they don't care because they've got 47 shares now. Took them 3 weeks to decide to buy in too, by the way. That's the one other thing about that referral program is if you refer somebody and they buy a 3 share, you now have, because it's about $3,000, they now say you have $3,000 of cash potential. That means you can make up to $3,000 in bonuses, but you can't make any more than that in cash. They're not going to pay you once you exhaust your cash potential, unless you're a Texit Ranger. There is a Texit Ranger in the room. I won't say who. If you're a Texit Ranger, you're exempt, but the Texit Ranger that's in the room has $75,000 in cash potential anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Bottom line is, even if you've exhausted your cash potential, if you've got a group growing below you and you're getting those points every week and you're getting 6 shares every week, it's the best deal that I know of in the financial world, period. Now, could it all crash tomorrow? Sure. I've been in it a year. I bought my share in April, so I've been around about a little over a year. All I've seen it do is grow and grow and grow. I'm not going to promise you it ain't going to crash. I'm not going to make any promises. But imagine if it continues to do what it's done before and just grows and grows and grows over 10 years at a 12,000%, 12,000% increase in 10 months. In 3 or 4 years, you got a ton of money out of that $9.95. And that's what we're banking on. That's the chance we're taking. That's our roulette wheel. We're hoping it keeps landing on black and we're letting it ride.
The money's really in the coins, is that right?
No. The money is in a offline server. The only way to unlock it. Oh, you mean that? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. The referral program's great. I'm not going to tell you it's not. It's changed my entire financial life. But the big money, is in if we're right, the big money's in the coin and owning those Texit coins, because let's say right now you buy a single share and they're making 5 of them a day. So over the course of a year, that's more than 15. 5 a day times 300 is 1,500, right? I'm not a mathematician.
1825.
That's a whole year, right? 365? Let's just do 1,500 easy math, because I'm not smart enough to do that math. Let's say they go to $10 a coin. You just turned your $9.95 into $15,000. They go to $100 a coin. Now you got $150,000 back for your $9.95. The long game is where the real money is. If it continues to do what it's done over the last year, for the next year, I will be a multimillionaire by this time next year. There's no doubt. And all I put in was $9.95 and told a redneck fairy tale to a bunch of people. Southern fairy tale, excuse me. Now, if you've got technical questions about mines and computers and all that, I don't understand that stuff. I understand money. I've got a friend that a lot of times comes to these meetings with me. He's in Las Vegas right now because some people won trips to Vegas for sponsoring people at a high rate. I've never sponsored them at a high rate. I average about 4 people a month. Luckily for me, on one of my legs, somebody found some MLM guys from something called Kangen Water. Never even heard of Kangen Water. They went crazy with this thing. They're throwing points at me so fast I can't even see them. But I just lucked into that too. I lucked into all this. It was a lucky thing. I believe you're lucky to be here. But I'll say a couple of things before I stop. One is, if you're risk averse, this probably ain't for you, because it is risky. Anything with that kind of return is risky. If you're happy with 5% a year, on a CD, and that's all you ever really wanted, then stick with that. If you're willing to take a risk and join us and have a little fun, because we have quite a bit of fun doing this too, I would do it. The other thing I would say is this: if this number is going to cause you to miss the car payment or the house payment or have to eat ramen noodles and Kraft macaroni and cheese for 2 months, don't do it. Don't put your paying bills money into this. It's just dumb. But other than that, if you're willing to take a risk and join us, we'd love to have you.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
How many shares, owners, what's the word we're using? Because I'll get confused.
Okay,
Shares or owners or,
we're selling a total of 1 million shares.
and how many are out now?
About 2%.
Okay.
So what is that? 200,000 maybe? No, 20,000. 20. See, y'all asking a guitar player to do math. You know, the math I know is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. If you get to 6, then we're swinging. But musicians will get that joke. But people can own multiple shares. Bobby used to like to say we're going to have 1 million seats on this rocket because there's 1 million shares. But there's only 5,000 of us, and we own like 20,000 shares already. So
that's what I was just asking you, is how many are out? You said, like,
how many have we sold already?
yeah, how many?
Oh yeah, there's 5,000 and something miners. I don't know the exact number. It's around 20,000 shares.
Okay.
About 2% is the number I keep hearing.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a numbers guy.
I think the average, so there's about 5,000 miners, and the average is like 3.46 mines per person.
Shares per person. I have a few more than that.
Okay.
I think I have 115 shares now.
But there's a lot of people that buy the one share, go and go
Yeah.
pay for whatever,
Yeah.
forget it.
Let me say this too. Remember we were talking about those points a minute ago? So when you get to 9 points on each side, they call that limiting out. I limit out Monday morning at about 8 o'clock when they hit calculate the first time from the weekend. I'm not making any money to be here tonight. This is just fun. And I want other people to have the fun that I'm having. Unless somebody was here that I personally invited, then I get the referral credit, which nobody's here that I personally invited. I've already referred 57 people. I'm getting way outside my sphere of influence. I'm cold contacting waitresses now. But I'm not allowed to speak to exes. Ask her. Yeah, the guy that lives my buddy that's now the crypto freak that I was talking about earlier, Tom. I dated his sister, and she bought a share, or bought a buy 3 get 1, but she can't see me in the group. She can only see who's below her. So, you know, apparently she still hates my guts after 40 years, which I don't blame her. Guitar players are asses. But anyway, next question. Yeah, this is the question and answer part of the night because I'm pretty much done.
Suppose, like you said, he made 11,000. How does that work with tax? You have to.
I'm not a tax official. Your relationship with the overlords is your relationship with the overlords. I would talk to a tax professional. I personally believe, I don't know this, I'm not a tax professional. I personally believe it's unrealized gains until you cash it out. But I'll say this, once you take it out of there and you got it and it's in your bank account, if you don't want to report it, that's your business. I'm going to tell the overlords. But I'm going to deduct everything but my shoelaces. I'm used to being self-employed. I know how to make deductions. Yes, sir.
Well, there was a video that came out today with Governor Abbott trying to get legislature passed in Texas where you don't get hit with capital gains.
Oh, I heard about that.
Crypto is included in that. So, you know, we have to vote on it, right? But can you imagine getting real estate and flipping it?
In casinos?
Well, and I want to say this too. I want to say this too. If you invest $9.95 and in 10 months you have $12,000 and you're more worried about what you're going to pay in tax than the fact that you made $12,000, I think you're looking in the wrong direction personally. I mean, my plan is to have so much that no matter how much they tell me I owe, I can just pay it and it'll be like pocket change.
So you said that they have these mines, one's in 2 are in McKinney.
Yeah, there's only 2 right now. There's 2 phases. They're both in McKinney. They're a bunch of computers.
I understand what they are, yeah.
in an oil bath, believe it or not. You know, has anybody heard about the Granbury data mine that's making so much noise that everybody's like complaining?
Yeah.
So ours are, instead of having fans, they take the fans out and they bury them in an oil bath, and then they run a pipe to an outside, and this oil is non-conductive, it won't conduct electricity. It goes to a radiator with 2 fans, cools it off, it comes back in. This unit, I've been there multiple times, this unit is quieter than your refrigerator. The outside unit is quieter than your air conditioner, and the reason is, it's just fans, there's no compressor. So it literally is just a couple of fans going, it's way quieter, and now we also use about 1/3 of the power that most data mines use because we're using brand new state-of-the-art technology. Literally, as soon as they come out with new technology, we buy them up.
Is everybody here already invested in this?
Raise your hand if you have not bought a share.
Those two. I know you
Have not bought a share.
you have yet.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people have not, out of people that are in here. Raise your hand if you've made more in commissions than you paid for your shares. Raise your hand if you've got.
Talking about commission, but it's not an MLM, but we're pretty comfortable, we're pretty familiar with MLM.
It's built like a binary MLM. The reason I didn't say it wasn't MLM, what I said was it's not a pyramid, and the reason it's not, and it's not like a normal MLM because there's no residual. There's no soap in your garage. I mean, I was in Amway twice. I made $70 a month the second time. I've had a little more success than this. I was in Melaleuca once upon a time. I've done a bunch of those, never made a dime. I didn't know this existed though. I think we still have some bar soap in the garage that came here from Florida. It's built on a binary model, and the reason they do that is to so we can all share it. So we're all working together because, for instance, Troy is in my group. And I've been putting people down here. He's got 9 points on this side. As soon as he refers somebody who buys a 3 share, he's going to get $1,000. He didn't have to put in both sides. Now, my upline, remember Eddie, who said it was kind of like Amway, he didn't like it? He'll put somebody in there about once a month. He's supposed to be building that leg. My power leg's supposed to be over here. I had to build both of them. But they're both big enough now, I could pretty much go to Tahiti until I ran out of cash potential at $75,000. Take me a while at $3,000 a week. Once I ran out of cash potential, I'd have to come back and sponsor some more people if I wanted to do it that way. But it doesn't work like a normal multi-level because there's no residual income. It's really just a way to distribute the commission and encourage people to work together and build community. And it works really well. Bobby's pretty much a genius in my opinion. Smartest guy I ever met.
It's like an incentive because as we are selling more shares, the coins that each shareholder gets goes down because you're sharing it between more people. So it gives you an incentive to actually go out and maybe get some more people involved because.
Repeat that one more time, start over, I'm
So-
sorry.
Oh,
So our
Because I
line,
think I
let-
understood what you
our
said.
line is generating on average about 95,000 coins a day. Well, you have 10,000 shareholders, right? So that gets distributed out evenly between each shareholder.
Between each share, not each shareholder. If you've got 20 shares, you get 20 more than the guy who gets 1 share.
So if we go out and sell more, or more people buy shares, and you get to 100,000 shares sold, now you've got 10% of the amount that you were getting prior. Because you're sharing those coins with more people.
But the coin value is going up faster than that's happening. That's why my wife's share now has $12,000 worth of coins in it.
You're making the slices smaller.
But it's much more rich pizza each time, each piece. Yes, Marion.
Okay, I got a question. You say you're gonna build these other mines in like Victoria, Georgetown, or wherever.
Yep.
If you build more mines, does that mean you're making more coins?
No, it's never going to make more than about 90 to 100,000 a year. What happens a day? What happens is in the crypto world, the larger your mine is, the more redundancy you have, the more stable it is in the eyes of people who buy and sell crypto. That's why Bitcoin is worth so much, because they have a huge mine, because the Chinese built one, I think they spent $50 million building theirs, or 100 million, something like that. I hate the Chinese, but that's another story. But the larger your mine is, the more, what's the word? The more stable your coin is, because you've got redundancy. If the McKinney one quits working, the one in Georgetown will pick up, the one, et cetera, wherever they are. Eventually there'll be nodes in homes even. But right now, the next, they're going to build another phase and another phase. They've already got the computers. They're actually sitting. He orders them ahead. So as soon as we have enough shareholders to build the next section, they build the next section. He keeps them ordered ahead all the time. He orders them when the price is right, because the price goes up and down on them, especially with the tariffs. They've just went up because some of them are made. I think the most current ones are made in China. The other reason to build it to this size, and I just learned this from one of the guys in my group. He's a crypto expert. This guy, he's forgotten more about crypto than I understand. The other reason is one of the things that it does complex calculations. And each time it solves the problem, that's when it produces a block of coins. But it's also doing transaction verifications. So for today, for instance, I bought some coins from somebody, and because they were wanting to get their cash back, and I'd rather have them and sell them than help them sell them at market price, I'd rather put them at what do you call it? Limit sales for like $1.10, $20, $30, and make extra money on it. If I'm going to take them out of a cold wallet. Transaction verifications. Every transaction is verified at least 6 times. Right now, when you do that, like today we moved 3,000 coins. It took it about 10 minutes to get them all verified. Once it's that big, it'll be instant. 6 verifications done, you can drop your money into the reader at the local drugstore. That's the plan anyway. Even if that doesn't happen, it's gone, like I said, from 2.8 cents to $1.03. That wasn't entirely organic. I'll be completely candid. Some of us buy and sell these things. That helps it move. Bobby has a plan where he makes a buy every once in a while, and that helps the value of the coin. The other day when it jumped to $1.10, I talk to Bobby pretty regularly because my group's the biggest one in Texit Coin. He sends me, I messaged him, I said, was that you? He said, the last buy I did was at 79 cents. So it went from 80 cents to $1.10 organically. Just bam. And that's people buying and trading. And there's guys with bots that'll literally buy them at, say, right now it's at $1.03. They've got a bot set to buy it at $1. I'm just making numbers up, but $1.02.79635. And when it gets to $1.02.87635, it sells them. These bots just buy and sell them all day long. One guy actually misprogrammed his bot the other day and bought every sell order on DexTrade. Who was here when that happened, when it went to 65 bucks? Yeah, I'm getting calls from everybody. You're selling your coins? They're at 65 bucks. Huh? You were busy talking to somebody about a mind share? It went to 65, but I didn't even know it happened while I was asleep or something. But there were no buy orders. Somebody has to buy it at 65 bucks for you to sell it at 65 bucks. There's buy orders right now for $1, $2, right up just below what the market price is. And then if enough of those get bought up, then it'll move up again. Moves up.
Buy and sell on a platform.
Yeah, DexTrade.
DexTrade.
Mm-hmm. DEX Trade. You can also, if you know anything about, if you're a crypto person, which I'm not, how many people are familiar with Amway at all? Yeah, so almost everybody is. When you're in Amway, what do they tell you? Be positive. Do everything. Don't buy soap at the store. Don't buy shoes at the store. Anything you can buy from us, right? I'm 100% TXC positive. I ain't buying XRP. I ain't buying Bitcoin. If I'll trade TXC all day long. That's it. I ain't touching anything else. But DexTrade is kind of like a penny stock crypto market. As a matter of fact, when we were at 2.8, we probably couldn't even gotten on any of the others. And you have to pay to get on these platforms, and there's over 200 of them. So as we get on more platforms, the value will go up some too. The other place you can see crypto value and see where we are is something called Coin Market Base. Cap, sorry. Coin Market Cap indexes coins and tells you what they're selling for right then. I mean, it's a little behind the market because it takes it a minute to get the data. But you can actually buy and sell them on DexTrade. I'm fixing to put $3,000 worth of, or 3,000 coins on DexTrade tonight.
So somebody who has no ownership in this company can buy these coins?
Yes,
on
ma'am.
DexTrade?
Oh, and please do. Please do. The more people buy them, the more they go up.
So last night,
The difference is, if you buy 1,000 coins, you got 1,000 coins. If you're making coins at 5 a day, at some point you're going to make more than 1,000 coins.
So people who are buying on DexTrade are just buying coins?
Buying and selling them. Some of them are us. I mean, I buy them. When I get some in a hot wallet, I sell them. I put them at a market sale. Okay, hot wallet, cold wallet. Cold wallet. Cold wallet is a safe deposit box. You cannot take the crypto out unless you have the key. And that's a QR etched in the coin. I just actually broke 2 of these this week for the first time for 2 different people who wanted to get one of them wanted to get their money back that they originally invested. The other one wanted to buy 3, get 1 because he had $4,700 worth of coins in there, so he just traded them in on another 3 shares. A hot wallet is like a checkbook. So what's the difference between a checkbook and a safe deposit box? Somebody gets your checkbook, they can forge your checks. People can't, they're not going to get to your safe deposit box. So I don't keep a bunch of money in a hot wallet for that reason. But I do have one. I've got one of my mine shares that I feed the hot wallet with. When it gets to 1,000 coins, I move them to DexTrade. I put them at market sale, or at, what do you call it? Limit sales, and sell them. And matter of fact, for a while, I put 2,000 on there when they were around 40 cents, I think. And so I put them on at like 50, 55, and 60, something like that. When they sold and it dropped back down below 50 to like 47, I bought a bunch again. I kept doing that till I had to turn 2,000 into 3,000, just playing with them. And then when they hit 80, I put them at 90, I think 90, 95, and $1, thinking when they sold it and they fell back down below 80, I'd use that USDT. They jumped right past 80 to $1.10. They hadn't gone back below about 98 cents then, so I just took that money out, pulled it back into my Coinbase, and I put it in as USDT and actually used it to pay a bill with it, but because USDT is equivalent to the dollar. Cool?
Okay, you said I was supposed to get 3 of those coins.
Yeah, when you buy a 9 share, they usually mail you 3 coins.
Okay, I didn't.
I don't know what the other 2 are for.
Well,
Nobody's been able to satisfactorily explain to me what those 2 are for.
who should I call?
Email help. This is for people who already own mine shares at mindtxc.com. The other addresses you should have if you're new to this are money at mindtxc.com and placement at mindtxc.com. And one more, commission at mindtxc.com. This one is probably one of the most important ones, maybe the most important one, because if I refer somebody and I want them to go in Billy's group instead of Tim's group because they're on different legs, then I can, and they put them in on Tim's, I can email placement and they'll move them. But they'll only move them if you referred them. You can't move anybody that you didn't refer. You don't control anybody. You don't control anybody that. And again, none of the commission program is necessary. You don't ever have to do that. Most of the people I've referred don't. They just call me up and go. I got a cousin in Florida. He's retired Navy. He was an E8, I think, when he retired. He does home inspections now. He's 70 years old. And I sent him some information. He calls me up. He goes, "How'd I get in this boondoggle of yours?" So I got him, he did a buy 3, get 1. He goes to a dinner in Orlando we were doing Bobby was doing a coin show in Orlando because he still mints coins, and he had a big dinner for Texit Coin to try and recruit some folks and all. And Randy went to it, and he calls me and goes, "Everybody there knew you." I said, "No, they don't know me. They've heard of me." Because at one time I was one of the top 4 referrers. But the first few weeks he would call me and go, "I got $150 now. I got 3." Now he's calling me going, "Are you buying a yacht yet?" Because he's I think quadrupled his money since he got in. So he did the $3,000 and he's got like 12 grand in there. Or he bought about the same time you did, actually. But he's never referred anybody. He ain't going to refer anybody.
So only people in Texas can buy this, other than no international people. You said
Anybody can buy a share. You can't build the mine anywhere but in Texas. In other words, if you want to call Bobby up and say, "Hey, I got 10 acres in Mississippi. We should put a mine share out." He ain't doing it. I think, quite frankly, when we get close to the end, we might put some, maybe in Oklahoma or somewhere nearby, just in case the entire Texas power grid goes down in one day or something. Because that is a concern to me. Because Texas does not have a good record with power grids. But we are looking at a place where there's hydroelectric power in Texas. We're actually one of those towns, Gonzales has hydroelectric power.
We just saw the mine share in Fiji last week.
Yeah, somebody in Fiji bought a share. 10% can be sold overseas. There's some people in New Zealand that have shares. There's some Australians that have shares. But when it gets to 10% of the total mine that are owned overseas, they're done. They can't. We won't sell any more overseas.
And that's just the mining shares. You can buy coins worldwide.
You can buy coins worldwide. You can buy mining shares up to 10% worldwide. As a matter of fact, one of the things that will eventually happen is we'll get well enough known that they'll start buying and trading these on some of the exchanges. Some of the people who are in like Thailand and Vietnam and Korea, Asians love crypto. And if they start getting a hold of this sucker might go through the roof.
So this is privately held?
Yes.
No SEC is involved?
Right now, the SEC does not do anything with any kind of cryptocurrency, but
Because there's no regulation.
right. But there is an SEC task force that has been tasked by the current administration to make some recommendations on crypto. So if they start regulating it, you can't tell the government what they can and can't do. They're going to do what they do. The only way you can tell them is by voting against them, but then, they give us such wonderful choices every time. I'm a libertarian, so I'm not real crazy about Republicans or Democrats. I feel like the two parties are strangling us, but that's my opinion.
So I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you do the 3, buy 3, get 1,
Mm-hmm.
does that 1 have to stay in your account, or can you?
You can't gift it, no. You have 4 shares. Now, when he started it in December because it was Christmas, he was allowing people to gift the 1 to somebody. But the only reason he kept it was because it went crazy. People started buying them. We doubled like twice in 2 weeks. Yeah, and back in December, I wasn't limiting out every week. Now I limit out it's growing that fast. Your groups are just getting huge. I've got 1,700 people in my group now. And I get phone calls and texts all day long. Nope. I know who the squeaky wheels are, believe me. Most of them one of the things Bobby did with Texit, I'm the Texit Ranger I mentioned earlier, if you didn't figure that out. One of the things he did for the Rangers, I hate this green mark. These green markers do not work. One of the things that Rangers have is an advertising budget. So that's based on the number of points you get every week. I can spend a certain amount of advertising. Now, over a certain amount, if I'm going to try and spend $5,000, I got to call Bobby and say, "Hey, I'm fixing to spend $5,000. What do you think?" But if I want to buy dinner for 40 people at Spring Creek, I can do it. They'll reimburse me. That's part of my advertising budget. That's part of our advertising budget. So there's guys in this group who are trying to get me to give them advertising money. I want to do a bunch of postcards and sponsor 1,000 people. Well, pay for them yourself if you're going to sponsor them. If you got your own QR on it, the company's not going to pay for it. You pay for it. Some of those guys are wearing me out. They're dying to get some advertising money up front. And we don't really do it that way. Do what? No, it's not anybody in the room. But yeah, some of those guys are, you know, they're calling me every day going, what about this scheme or that scheme?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So how would you start that if you were trying to start a, what do you call it? No, the advertising budget. How would you get that started if you were trying to build that?
You have to become a Texit Ranger. And the way you become a Texit Ranger is, first of all, you have a big group. That, you know, most of the Rangers I know are throwing about at least 50 to 100 points a week. Second of all, you're working in the group. You're not sitting home once you limit out and going, oh, look, I limited out. I can watch TV. You're actually, we do a lot of cross-line stuff. Matter of fact, Jason Birch, who's not here, he's in Vegas, wherever they went. Jason, I'm nominated, and other Rangers can nominate you when you're in their group. Jason, I nominated him because people from literally every group in Texit Coin call him about crypto because he's knowledgeable about it. So he's on his phone most of the day instead of printing in his printing shop like he should be. He's on the phone answering questions about crypto all day long, or about Texit Coin all day long. And so because he's helping people in other legs and not refusing their phone calls and stuff. Basically the bottom line is if you're about the brand and not about your own personal gain, it's easy to become a Texit Ranger. I mean, look, I'm about the brand. You can get one. There's actually a guy who got a QR for the website tattooed on the back of his leg. You can scan the back of his leg and it takes you to the Texit Coin website, whatever. It's ridiculous is what it is, in my personal opinion. Other questions?
And a t-shirt will work just fine.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Hey, Jay, just real quick. So if somebody wanted to do like the buy one, get one free before the end of the month.
Buy three, get one.
Buy three, get one. You know, and they've just set up their Coinbase account. You know, they put a hold on it and everything.
I'm pretty sure they're going to honor anybody who got their application in before. One of the problems is, and I'll just tell you all this because you're going to find out anyway. Credit card services hate crypto. They find out you're doing crypto, they shut you down. None of us can take credit cards. I still have credit cards at my other business, but I can't take them for Texit Coin. Venmo, Cash App, what are the other ones? PayPal, Zelle. All of those have limits. You can't buy a 9-share with hardly any of them. You just can't.
Can we buy one share with Cash App?
Yes, you can use Cash App or PayPal, and I think Cash App both have a little crypto you can use to buy with. So what's happening is there's some of us that are authorized to take what's called peer payments. I can take a check or Venmo or Zelle or whatever, but because I have to let it sit a week before I can send it, because Coinbase does not let you can buy stuff with it as soon as you put it in Coinbase, but you can't send it to somebody for a week. I've started delaying. If you're going to pay me, I'm going to delay it a week, just like if you bought your own if you set up your own Coinbase account. But I don't know what they're doing since the buy three get one is ending. But Bobby has always been more than generous about that sort of thing. If you're worried about it, what I would do is find a way to at least get $9.95 in before the end of the month. Because if you buy a single share, you've got 30 days to add up to 8 more and get the buy 3, buy 6, or buy 9 if you want. If you buy a single share before the end of the month, you've got 30 days to add to it and get a 3, 6, or 9. Matter of fact, I would say do that anyway. Buy one, kind of get your toe wet, and wait a week or two to buy 3, 6, or 9. But you want to buy 3, 6, or 9, knock yourself out. Yes, sir.
Like you're saying, if we buy one, we qualify for that. So when we buy the 3, we only have to buy 2 more to get that one?
Correct. Yeah, if you buy a single share, within 30 days you can buy 2 more and you'll get the 4th one for free. If you buy a single share within 30 days, you buy, 5 more, you get 2 for free, and then 8. Yes, sir, Marion.
I had a guy call me before you started speaking,
Until the end of the month, I'm still taking. Until the end of the month, I'm still taking peer payments like I took yours. But after what is this, May? After May is over, I'll take a peer payment. But I'm gonna wait till it clears Coinbase to send it in. I can't stay a week behind. I don't like being a week behind sending the money, so I'm gonna start holding it after this month. But anybody wants to make a peer payment, I'll take peer payments the rest of this week. Yes, DeCarlo. I'm sorry, ma'am.
So if we do this, we have to have that. We have to have Coinbase. We have to have Texit.
Yeah, it's a lot like
Those three things.
right now. Now I'll say this: if you're gonna hold them for a long time, you're not looking to sell them anytime soon. Eventually, Coinbase will recognize this, and you'll be able to sell them right on Coinbase, take your money right back out when we get big enough. Right? But if you want to sell them today,
You can buy Bitcoin and other
you can buy the big boys.
Ethereum.
You can only buy the big boys. Yeah, they've all been around 10 years or longer. We're still, I like to say this too. I really believe everybody in the room, no matter if you buy shares, even if you wait 2 months to buy shares, we're on what I would call the ground floor of this thing. Now I've got buddies that tell me, you were on the ground floor. I used to say I was in the basement. But actually, when I bought my share in April, the coin didn't even exist yet. They didn't even release the first coin until May. So for those of you who know construction, I bought my share when they were digging the footers. I really thought I threw away $1,000. I'll be completely candid.
Last April, right?
A year ago, yeah. I literally thought I threw away $1,000. I didn't know I had made money till August. And then I went, oh, look, I'm making money. It's been fun. I mean, and I will say this about the referral thing. If you are familiar with MLMs, and obviously you are, what do they tell you? You need to look sharp, dress sharp. Look at me. I've referred 57 people. If I can refer them, anybody can. I'm an overweight, aging guitar player. Yes, DeCarlo. With long hair and a soul patch. I'm sorry.
When they initially get in, there's a delay for the money, but they actually start mining.
Yeah, typically, right now we're growing so fast they can't get people onboarded and in the system right away. So if you buy your share, say today, but they don't get you in the system till say Friday afternoon, they usually go back and make up any coins you missed on those days that you weren't in. Bobby's really fair. I mean, he's stupid generous. He really is.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
So let's say if they signed up today and they did a one share, but how would they pay if they haven't gotten their Coinbase?
I'm still taking peer payments till the end of the month.
So they would send you.
They can Zelle me the money, or I will take up to $3,000 a day in each of those. I did not want to do this today. I did not want everybody in the room sending me money today, but I can take up to $3,000 in each of those 4 apps. If you're going to buy like a 9, I need you to bring me a cashier's check because you can't get them through those others. A guy, I just helped DeCarlo sign up a guy, 2 weeks ago, Craig, 3 weeks ago. He brought me a cashier's check for $14,000. He bought a 9 share. He bought his wife a 3 share. He bought his bookkeeper a share and his buddy, some buddy of his that lives in his lake house a share. I thought it was, so the lake house guy is the guy he bought the next week. Yeah, so he bought 21 shares in 2 weeks for a bunch of friends of his. Yeah, he's in Mike's group. See, and there you go. Mike got 21 points. I spent 6 hours with this guy telling him all about, he's studying the company, asking me questions. Mike got 21 points. I was already limited out. The 21 points didn't help me. I could have said, well, I'll sponsor you. That wouldn't have been very nice, would it? No, that would have been rude, man. And then you wouldn't trust me at all. Yes, sir.
What's the info to send you money? What do we have?
When you're ready to fill out the form, we'll walk through all that. If you want to do it, I'll make sure you get it.
I won't be able to do that till tonight, but.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be around. I'll be around all week. I'm here all week, folks.
I could send them your contact information.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody in here who wants my number can have it. It's on the front door of my studio down the street as after hours number. It's not a secret. Anybody else want my number in case you want to try and make a payment?
Jay, should they get on and fill out
I would do it, wait till you're on the phone with me and do it. If you're gonna make the payment through me, so that I've got the information and I can confirm the payment. Yeah, you need my number. He's had my number for 15 years, 20 years.
Thank you.
No